Welcome back to another episode of On the Subject. I'm your host, Michael Villardo, co-founder and CEO of subject.com, subject.ai. Please find us there. But we're so excited today. We're in the heart of Chicago, in Wrigleyville. We're having a media and AI educational conference, and we've had some incredible guests be able to share some wisdom to our listeners today. Christy Vehe, the director of math and science at secondary at Valley View. We're so excited to have you here today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
So what made you care so much about helping students? What got you into the craft? What made you passionate about school?
Honestly, my lived experience is I come from a family of educators, so I tried to avoid that route, but ultimately it just pulled me right in. I think my family is probably what sparked that interest. I wish I have met lots of people who have that story of that teacher or that individual. I don't have that experience, like thinking back from my middle school and high school years. So I guess I wanted to become that person for others and, bring that spark of life.
Well, that's beautiful. Parent engagement, family engagement is such a driver of educational success. And so to feel that passion around your family of educators, that's really inspiring. And I'm sure you bring that passion to your students. We talk about math and science. These are such critical junctures of society, and these skills stay with students the rest of their life. What have you seen change the most across math and science since when you entered the field several decades ago to now? What a different world we're in.
Such a different world. You just said my favorite sentence. So I'm so, like, people will say, oh, Christy, she's so passionate. And I'm not sure that's a positive word or a negative word. I'll take it for the positive. But I have a passion, and I've been at Valley View School District for 21 years. And I've been in education and just finished up, or I'm finishing up year 24. And I am working to disrupt the traditional thinking that math is a memorized subject matter, and that it's a place and a space where kids need to question, they need to wonder, they need to invoke their curiosity. And so we're trying to shift the culture. Watch me show you how to do a lot of math, which is everything I did for all of my degrees, to letting kids think and showing different ways to solve problems and using their thoughts to tie together to the mathematical language, to tie together to the big concepts and ideas, so that they ultimately will go into a space where they can have productive conversations, some productive struggle, an ability to be thinkers and not necessarily just memorizers.
I love what you just said about productive struggle. It's so important that you can be able to learn from your own mistakes. Anything in life. And we oftentimes say, if you were trying to tell someone to let them make that mistake, and they'll be able to be much more passionate about figuring out a solution on their own. How do you encourage a more of an open culture of vulnerability and failure in the classroom that leads to long-term success?
Yes, I think it starts back to that vision, right? So if we have this vision that we're going to create learners who are going to be curious and have questions, then we have to build that community and the classroom environment to have that openness. So I think, you think about everyone's work around grit and mindset and really
Love grit.
thinking about the culture of mistake making. And so we, professional learning that we provide, resources that we are looking at, right? We want to have a curriculum that allows students to not always mess into one right answer, right? Using instructional routines like notice and wonder, or the idea around think, pair, share, where I get to think of an idea, I get to share with you an idea, and then we see where that goes as a whole group. I think those are important aspects of allowing students to explore their own thoughts and see what they have. And really, we talk a lot around that human connection. I need to have that culture that exists there. So thinking about, how do I build community? What does it look like to do math? What does it sound like? What should you see? And so we really go through like activities with kids in the classroom, and then have them tell us their experience. So like, what did they see in the activity? Oh, they saw other people talking. They saw people walking around the classroom. What did it look like for that opportunity to be something different than, wait, I sat in a math classroom and I saw somebody show me how to do 3 examples, and then I was expected to do that. So it's like shifting a culture of those that came before us. And it's hard, but it's all in that connection and making that classroom environment a positive one.
Absolutely. And it is hard. And I think the most, challenging piece of all this is Gen Z is about to be done with high school. It's now Gen Alpha. And so everyone's all afraid. Gen Z is amazing. I love what Gen Z stands for and the way that they really care about people. Gen Alpha and the new generation, a new type of student. Is there anything that you could advise the educators out there listening in on how we could best engage Gen Alpha as they take over the entire 6 through 12 system in the next couple of years?
Yeah, learn some brain rot and then get on some Italian brain rot. So hopeful space for me, I have this year in August, I will have an 8th grader and a 6th grader.
Nice.
So
Congrats.
thank you. Yes. So learning and experimenting with them in their last, 6, 7 years of education has been obviously a blessing. You know something different when you have children of your own. And so thinking about what they bring differently, I think I guess I'm going to say something around like code switching. So I've done a lot of work in diverse districts and like thinking about those that have come before me and learning about how you have to act different in different spaces. And I think they're going to get really good about having to have this idea of code switching. And I see it in my own kids being able to have conversations with their friends and their social world and their devices and how they speak. And then sitting at a dinner table, or if we're around friends and family, or if they're at school, like in that situation, they know how to like have fun and be in a digital world, but then also like how to communicate and talk through those different pieces. So it's letting them express themselves as they are. I know there's a lot of TikToks and videos out there about making fun of the middle school realm of their new language, but that's them. That's them expressing themselves. And I think we just have to embrace and support that we had it too. Ours just looked different. And, we just lift them up and being themselves and them true selves. What things can they bring at 20 years down the road that we don't even see or can believe will happen?
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely so flawlessly said. And, the one piece we do always love to culminate these incredible discussions with, and I'm excited to hear your flavor, is we usually like to say a shout out to either a teacher or student who's impacted you and you wanted to thank them. But in this environment, I'm happy to lean into the family member you want to thank the most, who in education in general has done so much for you, and the power of giving and paying it forward, and the butterfly effect of education that you would love to say thank you to as we culminate the discussion.
I don't even have to think about this.
That's the best. Those are the best. That's from the heart.
And this will probably shock a lot of people, but it's more about me as an adult learner and an adult grower. And that would be Dr. James Mitchum. He was my principal at Bolingbrook High School when I was a teacher and became a math department chair. He was also my superintendent as I transitioned into administration and became a director. And throughout all of my experiences, he is somebody that always just made me think, like, why would I want to think about giving a retake? Why would I want a student to relearn something? Why do I grade this way? Why do we give zeros? Like every single big education question that's out there that we're not taught in college, there's those conversations don't have. He pushed me. He made me go think about it, coming back to it. And it was like that thought partner. And if I didn't get it or if somebody gave me pushback, like I'd be in his office and I'd be like, what am I need to do here? And, it was just like always just giving me the journey that I wouldn't be who I am today if he wasn't a leader that was in my life.
Well, you heard it there first. That was incredibly moving. That was an emotional comment, and I really appreciate how much you're able to express that gratitude. And this is what it's all about here on the subject. We want to highlight innovation and gratitude, and couldn't be able to do a better job than that. Thank you so much for your time today. You know where to find us. Please find us on YouTube and Spotify, especially. Click like, comment down below, subscribe so we can highlight more incredible and innovative educators throughout the country. And thank you so much for an incredible day today. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you.